Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Hangouts, brought to you by Craft Beer Nation. Tonight we're gonna have beer. It's gonna be fun. All of our moms are upstairs, so we just can't be too loud, and we're gonna secretly drink beer because she doesn't know. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Friday Night Hangout brought to you by Craft Beer Nation. I am Randy Gardner, and I will be herding these three cats tonight. As per usual, we do not have a style, Drunker's Choice, every Friday, so we can kind of, keep some variety. Not everybody talking about the same beer, so, we don't run out of things to say after two cats talk. So my panel tonight, James R. How are you doing tonight, James?
Doing all right. How you guys doing?
Good. I'm doing good. I can't speak for Jeffrey and Ricky, but I'm doing well. I've been better, but, it's whatever. Jeffrey, how are you tonight, sir?
What's up, kids? It's all good, man. Happy to be here.
And Ricky Potts.
What's happening, guys? Pumped to be back. I missed last week because I fell asleep on the couch. So
I don't think we had a show last week.
Oh, well, you didn't know, I didn't know, Gil didn't know, so there might not have been a show.
Yeah. If we had a show, I would have known it. So it was a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
So, James, what is in thine chalice?
I'm drinking Protocosmos from Modern Times. It's a Galaxy hopped IPA, and it's pretty darn good.
Didn't Modern Times just release like a New England style IPA this week? What's the name of it?
They might have. If they did, I don't know. They've been on a release binge lately, so I haven't come across that yet.
It looks legitimate from a New England IPA perspective. It looks amazing, and you can get it at Trader Joe's, and it's like cheap. It's like $7 for a bomber.
They've been playing with that pretty lately. Not really bottle release wise, but I know that they've been pouring a bunch of different kind of variations of New England style IPAs. So I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about this beer that you're drinking. What is it called again? The Five Who That Lifted What?
It's Protocosmos. They've been kind of on a weird naming convention lately.
Yeah, stay on a weird naming convention.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, it's classic, or they kind of call out the Galaxy, but there's Galaxy.
It's not a smash.
No, it's not. It's Galaxy Atom, which I've never heard of. AHTANUM, and Centennial. And then they've actually kind of normally they're very simple on their malts, but they got two-row, Carapils, Munich, and Vienna. So it's actually pretty solid. I actually quite like this. The Galaxy isn't super present, like something like a Galaxy Hero from Revolution, or Galaxy Showers from Noble. But it's good. It's what I call balanced. Maybe some other people will still call hoppy, but the Galaxy isn't, beating you in the face. It's nice and calm. It's also tasty.
I would love to be beat in the face with Galaxy hops. I'd take that whipping all day long, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, Galaxy hops is by far one of my favorite hops. I'd say Galaxy, Citra, Mosaic, and probably Nelson are three of my faves.
Those are probably my faves too, to be honest.
So that beer, it's all Galaxy. So yeah. Oh, you said Galaxy
Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce it. Atenum.
Okay.
I've seen that hop before. I couldn't tell you what it tastes like or what I've seen it in, but I know I've seen that hop and stuff before.
Yeah,
I've seen it
kinda
and I
wanna
can't
grab
pronounce it.
Try it and homebrew it just so I understand what it's like, but I literally have never heard of it before until Protocosmos.
Yeah, I can't. I have no idea how to say it. Let's say Anthem. There you go.
Sounds good to me.
Somebody had to make a choice, make a call. So Jeffrey, what are you drinking, man? You're just not getting back into the country. You were on like you're muted, sir. Your mic is off. But while you get that squared away, I'll just talk. So yeah, you were out on vacation, but it wasn't like I'll be going to go on vacation for a week. You were going for like a month. Like, I swear you rented one of those the airplanes that can land on the water, whatever it's called. And my man just went from island, kiteboarded. Is it kiteboarding or windsurfing? No, kiteboarding. Went to another island, kiteboarded, and did this like for a month. I'm like, can he adopt me? Because this dude is living life right now. So anyway, while you work on your audio technical difficulties, Ricky.
So we were talking about this before we went live. I'm drinking, and it was fun. I was planning on drinking it out of the growler that I had it filled in. So this is a new phenomenon. I don't know if it's happening where you guys are, but the 16-ounce growler fills, and I love this because I like to try new things, right? So I don't want to commit to 64. The 32 is a nice option. I keep a couple of those in the car, but the 16-ounce growler is a very nice addition. So, but
come on, man, just say a pint.
It's a pint, whatever. It was funny. It was funny when I first got it. I was like, so could technically I get it, pay for it while I'm shopping, drink it while I walk around the store, and then get it filled again before I leave? And they said that was okay. So I may or may not have done that more than once. But I'm drinking the Enjoy by Tangerine 725-16. It's the second release of the Enjoy by Tangerine. First time it's hit the valley here in Arizona, and it smells way better than it tastes. It's good, but I like the Enjoy Bys. The Enjoy By historically to me has just been a good IPA. It's a good go-to IPA. I can grab whatever amount of it, and it's always good. And the tangerine is present in the nose, but I'm not getting a ton of it in the flavor, and I get enough of it that I know that it's a tangerine IPA, but I want more citrus. I want more aggressive citrus notes, and the keg was tapped yesterday, and it's fresh. I don't know when it first came out because it expires on the 25th, but I like it. It's good, but it's not that I'm gonna rush out to buy. But the thing is, and Jeffrey had said that the whole Enjoy Buy thing is a marketing ploy. Well, it is, but I'm 100% of the time when they come up with a new one, whether it's the regular, whether it's the tangerine, whether it's the Enjoy After, I'm gonna buy it. Like I'm hook, line, and sinker because maybe it's different this time, or maybe it's gonna be a different experience. But I'm gonna buy it. I know, exactly, sucker. Yeah, like I'm falling victim to that.
No, it's not always the same.
You're right. It tastes different on how long it's been sitting in the fridge, whatever my palate is looking for that time.
No, sometimes they make a ridiculously dank version. This version you have here is a tangerine version. They have an unfiltered version. They have a version that comes out that's like a base version that gets released a lot, but it's not always the same recipe. It varies.
Right.
I think the 420 is usually agreed upon as being the
dank Meister.
One.
Yeah, and I did talk to Mitch Steele a couple times and kind of asked him, and he has confirmed that they do change it depending on hop variety, availability, and whatnot. But he did say that 420 is purposely done just because obviously.
And for the longest time, though, the impression was that it didn't change. That it was the same recipe every time, just based on when you drink it and when they made it, like it would taste different. But yeah. I've always thought like there's no way that's the same, as my palate hasn't changed that much in the last 3 months or what have you. And not all of them come to Arizona, but I feel like there's always one of them available. Whether it's and the Enjoy Afters, I've had 2, maybe 3 of the Enjoy Afters, and the bottles are just ridiculously carbonated, like unenjoyably so. Like,
wait, Ricky. Hold on 1 second, Ricky.
What?
Did nobody catch James just name drop just now?
I did. And I was like, how do you know him? Like, he must be, like,
it
was so subtle. It was just like, oh, by the way, I was talking to her.
I didn't mean to name drop. It's just, Randy, you know how much I love Stone. You know how much I go there. So,
well, James, Let me one up you. Let me one up you real quick.
Oh, Steve Wagner.
Oh,
Can I one up you and say that I see him probably about 3 or 4 times a year, and then Greg Cook probably about 6 or 7?
Whatever, lady. Look at that.
I'm going to the grand opening of
Dr. Bill?
Oh, Dr. Bill in the house.
All right, Dr. Bill. I'll give you that.
Anyway, go ahead, Ricky. I'm sorry. I could not call out James's name drop.
I apologize. I didn't mean to name drop.
It's all good, man.
I'm gonna make myself feel a little better because I have no selfies with these famous brewing people. But I'm gonna be in Berlin for the grand opening of it. It's been open, but like the grand opening party of Stoneberg. So nice. Greg may be there, and it's funny though that you mentioned Greg because I've had like 3 of my friends in the last like 2 months have been like, "Hey, look who I'm with," and then they text me a picture of them with Greg, or like he's sitting beside them or whatever, and I'm like, I've never met this freaking guy, so maybe he'll be there for the grand opening because I was talking to him on Facebook, and I guess the brewery like side, like they only have a handful of beers on tap, but the brewery side and the food and all that piece is not quite ready yet, so they opened kind of prematurely. And that's all opening the weekend that we're there. And they're like, oh, yeah, you'll be able to tour it. And it's kind of we're having like a party or whatever. So I don't have any names to drop. But that all being said, Stone Enjoy By Tangerine is solid. I gave it a 3.75 on Untapped. And the next time it comes out, I'm going to buy it because hook, line, and sinker.
I'm sure Greg will be there for the Berlin grand opening.
I would think so. Yeah, I would think so.
Hey, Ricky, let me know if you need any tips on getting in Berghain.
Funny story. We're on the list, but if you have any tips...
That doesn't mean anything, bro. Yeah.
I know it doesn't. The people that have us on the list live there, so...
Okay.
Did anybody just notice that Jeff just place dropped?
He just place dropped one of the most famous nightclubs on the planet.
So, Jeffrey, you got your mic up and going. What's up, man?
I don't know what happened. I had to log out and back in. So, actually, I'm drinking something I never had before. This is a beer from Spain, believe it or not. The brewery is called Mateo and Bernabe. They only have like 3 or 4 beers. This is their number 11 Bernabe, which is like a Belgian golden ale is what I would categorize it as. A little bit cloudy, a little bit yeasty, pretty nice head. You get that kind of good biscuity yeast smell. It's pretty fruity. This is not a big beer. I think it's like 6% ABV. But you get a lot of kind of fruit, kind of biscuit malts, bready malts. It's the flavor is a little fruity, a little floral. It's quite drinkable. It's not a big beer at all, but it's pretty tasty. This thing they've had them at my HEB as the grocery store here, and they actually have a pretty good beer selection. But for some reason they get stuff in. I don't know who chooses it. And I saw they've had these things for a few months, and they're originally like $13, and then I went in there one Sunday and they were all in a shopping cart, and I picked up a bunch of stuff for like $4 and $6. So this was a $5 beer. So yeah, pretty solid. I don't know if you'll ever see it, but it's not too bad.
So Ricky, back to your beer for a quick second.
Yeah.
So you can get a pint or a pint growler. It sounds so dumb.
Sample.
How much does that cost you?
So this one today was $2.99, and the cool thing is though, so there's only 2 places in the valley that will fill a pint growler. There should be like another name, like there's the Crowler and the Prowler or whatever.
It's called a pint. It's called a pint.
In the valley, it will fill a pint, but you pay more per ounce by getting a pint than you do 32 than you do 64, which makes sense. But I have no problem paying $3 for a pint of a beer that I don't want. I don't want 64 ounces of it. They don't have bottles of it, so I have no problem getting it.
That's cheap for me. Like that's obscenely cheap for me.
Right. Like, and so I was there right after I got off. I got off work and I went to the gym, and then they had a local beer that's like 11%. It's a stout. It's an unbelievably good beer, and a 6-pack of cans is $17.99, $4.99 for a pint. Well, okay.
Do the
I'm gonna
math.
do that all day long. Like,
Yeah.
there's no question that I'm gonna do that. And the cool thing is, so if you buy it, the glass is $1.99. They throw their label on the side of it, and you can fill it up. The cool thing is, though, is it's always in my car, right? So, like, to the point that I was saying earlier, I can go in and I can get one, and they let me drink it while I'm walking around the store. Because if I know I'm gonna be there shopping for a little bit, like, get it, drink it, and then get it and take it home. And I don't need more than that, though. Like, I'm not sharing it with anybody, and that's perfect for a guy like me that's trying to try as many beers as I can, that I don't have to buy a full 32 ounces to be able, or 64 ounces to be able to get that beer.
Yeah, if my grocery store allowed me to drink beer while I was grocery shopping, let's just say my
Whole
family
Foods,
would.
all the Whole Foods do.
Yeah,
I
Whole Foods do.
don't have a Whole Foods near me. I gotta drive too far. But let's just say my family would be hella hungry.
Just walking around shopping, drinking beer.
I'd be in the grocery store all night. Like, what are you doing? I'm trying to find this organic sunflower seeds, man.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can't.
Jeffrey, does your Whole Foods have a ridiculously good happy hour?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple that I go to, one here and one out in Nevada that I go to a lot. And yeah, the one in Nevada has a good happy hour. The one here, what's good is it's called the Sugar Shack, and they've got, I want to say, 16 taps. And the guy that runs the thing is there. As something's been on too long, they have ridiculously mathematically challenged growler specials. Where like you'll go in there and it's like, Wood Stout's been there for 2 weeks, and so now a growler is $11.99.
Mm-hmm.
So you just kind of got to watch. You got to watch those growler values.
Ours does. So happy hour is $3 locals, and then all day Saturday and Sunday $3 locals. They have a kill the keg special for pints and growlers, and they'll do 32 and 64.
What about pint growlers?
They don't fill pint growlers. There needs to be a name for them, not just a pint. Shut up, you guys are mean. So, but they will do like $5. So whatever, if it's 60 ounces and it kicks, $5 for the growler fill. Like, and it's on anything. Like yesterday, I had a 12% IPA, $3. Like, it's just, you can't beat the happy hour there.
I live in the wrong state. Literally, you cannot do growler fills in grocery stores at all. Like,
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
California's like that. Like, yeah, the only place you can do growler fills is at a brewery.
At the brewery. So there's no growler shops that just do that? The licensing, they're not allowed to? Yeah.
Wow.
No, and they just this year. So the law's been a bit ambiguous, and most breweries kind of erred on the side of caution. But for a while, it was kind of like you may or may not use a blank growler. But officially, you had to use your, like, literally a stone can only go to a stone growler or growler.
I've always thought that with California, that it had to be the growler of the brewery that you were filling it in.
The ABC kind of last year said you can kind of get away with it, and kind of told breweries that they won't enforce it. And so this year they finally said, hey, as long as it's a blank, or you tape up.
Yeah. Yeah, every state they have to be labeled. You tape it up and it's got to be labeled. With what is in it, what's the ABV. That seems to be kind of universal.
Correct, but prior to this year, to January 1 this year, you couldn't do that.
Huh.
So they just allowed that.
Not all states require them to seal it up. Like, I don't think Maryland does. But
like, we just have to have tape over ours.
No, you don't even have to have that in Maryland. Like in South Carolina, they put like a little piece of plastic on the top and hit it with a heat gun.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm not 100% sure they do that in Virginia either. But I don't know. Whatevs. I'm gonna talk about my beer.
I was just gonna say, what are you drinking?
So I was looking
that
at
looks
the
like
house.
a phone.
It is. So I'm drinking a beer from Aslan. I'm going local again. This is their Master of Karate.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Double IPA at 8.4%. This one is chock full of Galaxy, Mosaic, and Amarillo hops. If you've never seen their beer before, they do straight up New England style IPAs, and isn't she a beaut?
Oh, look at that. That looks
And,
like freaking orange juice.
and I'm keeping it proper, as Jeffrey would say.
You got the hat on too, Pards. Like you were dialed in.
I'm all Team Aslan, baby. Team Aslan all day, every day. What? That was too much.
How much did they pay you for that segment right there?
Nothing. They're the homies. I look out for them, man.
But they make other styles too, right, Randy?
Yeah, they make other styles and actually do them very well. Like, I mean, so when you go there, there's no question about the fact that they are an IPA first brewery. No, they don't deny that. But it's not like I think Stone. I mean, Stone's an IPA first brewery, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they hop everything to hell and back. So they're definitely an IPA first brewery, but Aslan, like, they didn't set out to be an IPA first brewery. They set out to just make good beer, and their IPAs just started, like, they were killing it with the IPA. Keep pleasing the customers, right? So they just keep pumping out these IPAs, and then they get a chance. They had a stout called Deceiver, 10% Imperial Stout, delicious. And then they got Deceiver and put like peppers and cinnamon and stuff in it, killer. And they came out with a milk stout with this locally roasted coffee place called How Now Brown Cow was the name of the beer, killer. Freddie just reviewed Deceiver with raspberries and something else in it I can't remember, killer. But so even though their stouts are killer, their IPAs are crazy. This beer right here is a tropical fruit bomb. The mouthfeel on a lot of their beers are spot on, like a nice, luxurious, creamy mouthfeel. Like you get like nothing but straight pineapple, mango, citrus. I mean, if you want to search, you can find a little bit of blueberries in there from the mosaic hops. Mangoes, papaya, all of that is jammed up in this glass right here. So as good as they do IPAs, and as you know, they have some really, really good stouts. I think their second best style outside of the New England style IPA, Gozas and Berliners.
Oh.
I reviewed a Berliner from them one time that it was just simply called Passion Fruit and Mango Berliner Weiss.
Ooh.
An immediate 5, no questions. No question.
That's aggressive.
I love Berliners.
Listen. If I pour that beer for you and you had no idea what it was, right? And you stick your nose in it. We talk all the time about how if it's on the label, and I'm gonna kick Stone in the nuts here. If it's on the label, I need it to be in the beer.
Yep.
R&R coconut IPA, whack. Zero coconut.
Oh yeah.
Coconut was nowhere to be found, right? Ricky's drinking the tangerine Enjoy By. You got to dig deep to find that tangerine.
Yeah, like it's not even there. Like it's.
Yeah, it's only there because you know it's supposed to be there, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't read it, you wouldn't know it's there, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'd be like,
So-
what is that? I don't think that it's orange or tangerine.
With this Berliner, and I did a review on it, so it's on our Facebook, on our YouTube channel. And I said this in the review. I said if you didn't know what this beer was, and I just told you, here's a Berliner Weiss, smell it. As soon as you put your nose in it, if you've ever eaten food before, you'd say this smells exactly like passion fruit and mangoes. It was phenomenal. Like it was no question. But as far as the thing I like about what they do with their gozas, they did a raspberry blackberry goza. They get these delicate, sour tart beers, right? And when they fruit them, they don't like pussyfoot around with the fruiting, right? It's not like, oh, we want to give you a hint of passion fruit or a hint of mango. They're like, nah, fruit is in this,
Double
right?
tap you with passion fruit.
No doubt. So, and the thing is, with that particular beer, it played so well because the Berliner is already a slightly tart beer, and then they added passion fruit to it, which is already a tart fruit. and then the mangoes came right on top of that and kind of balanced it out. And then they come back with a goza, which is already kind of sour, tart, and added raspberries to it, which can be a little sour, tart, and then they put blackberries in it, which gives it a whole nother level of complexity. So they're smashing. They're not just smashing the IPA game. They're not just smashing the stout game. They're not just smashing the Berliners. They're smashing the beer game right now. And these cats have only been open for like 10 months max. And I've seen people on Facebook trying to trade Dark Lord for Aslan Crowler. So, but this beer right here, this might be my favorite. It's probably one of my top two. Yeah, this is my favorite double IPA from them for sure.
So do they not can or bottle at all? Just Crowlers, Randy?
Crowlers and tap room only because
Okay.
they're so small. So the immediate thing is like, yo, why don't you get Mobile Cannon to come in? Well, they don't brew enough volume to make Mobile Cannon profitable.
Mm-hmm.
They're only brewing on a 2-barrel system.
Oh wow.
That is small.
These cats opened up saying like, yo, if we can sell 100 glasses of beer a week, we'll be all right. I guarantee you they sold 200 glasses tonight. you feel me? So they had it's the quintessential case of you come out with a product that's so good what you're able to produce. So now they legitimately have a problem of having demand that exceeds their output. So now they got to find money because they got to get big. They got to get big.
That's the right problem to have, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of businesses kind of fold because they don't have capital, right? But however, this is different. This is beer, right? People are gonna come even if you go to get a crowler, and they run out of beer before you get your crowler. If you've had their beer before, you know that they're smashing it. So you're gonna be mad because you didn't get your crowler, but only thing you can do is just come earlier next time they have a release.
Yeah.
You're gonna come back. We are not gonna walk away from good beer unless the owners are ass.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're beer nerds. If you make good beer, we're gonna drink it unless you give us a bona fide reason not to drink it.
My local brewery, RIP, RIIP, that I go to probably way too much, but they're having the same problem. I mean, they're different in that they unabashedly say they're sticking to IPAs. They do some stouts. They've done a couple saisons, but their primary focus is on IPAs on a 3-barrel system, and they've only been open since October, and they've been having the same issue. And they're already expanding, and they're going to put in a 15-barrel system. And talking to the owners, and they're having the same good problem, where they can't keep up with demand, and it's a good thing to have, but at the same time, it's kind of like, ooh. Hopefully, their quality will match the demand, and I'm confident they will. But it's kind of the same idea. You know, it's tiny barrel system. A lot of people are they can't even can or bottle, kind of like Aslan sounds like. So they have the same problem, which is good.
But Aslan's going to grow. I know that they're going to grow. They're going to increase their capacity, and I like to think that when that happens, they're going to start probably doing like a mobile canning unit, so four packs of pints. That's going to be huge for them because now they're going to be producing more beer. They can sell more beer. I mean, they've had instances where they release a beer on Saturday and sell everything and can't even open them on Sunday because they sell all their beer on Saturday. Ran out. That's like going to Burger King and they don't have no more burgers because their burgers that damn good and they don't got no more.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Aslan two weekends in a row. They released 2 beers, one this Saturday, the one the following Saturday, couldn't open Sunday. Boom. They used to open on Wednesday to Sunday, now Thursday to Sunday because the beer is flying out the door. So I'm going to invest. No.
You should.
Okay. So
No, I'm not going to invest.
similar to that, the RIP, that brewery that I'm talking about, Sierra Nevada had their beer camp. Was it 2, 3 weeks ago? They were supposed to be there, but they sold out of their beer so much, and they didn't put aside a couple kegs. They couldn't even do the Sierra beer camp, which I was kind of like, that's a bad thing.
That's a missed opportunity right there. Yeah.
Exactly. Although that being said, they're starting to be really well known in Southern California, so I don't know necessarily how bad that's going to be, but just for exposure purposes, that was kind of a poor decision on their part. But I hear what you're saying. They sell out really quickly, so same idea, Randy, as far as Aslan's concerned.
Yeah. Do they do anything where they now, whenever they release a beer, they like at Aslan, when they open on Thursday, especially if they have a new release, like they won't sell beer until they're out. They might come out and say 40 crawlers is the 60 crawlers is the limit for the day. Once we hit 60 crawlers, no more crawlers. You can just get pours because they want to be able to fill crawlers tomorrow.
Yeah, for RIP they do the same thing. They actually will not do growlers at all. At least for the first ones, they can gauge how popular it is. And then once they do their initial run and inevitably it sells out, they'll figure out how much they can do, and then they'll allow growlers the next round.
I'm gonna tell you this, Aslan, right about a week after Savor, so I guess that's like June 10th-ish, or that week anyway. They had a peach vanilla double IPA.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. It was incredibly stupid and like super young right out of the tank. You could get the peach, but the vanilla was kind of like, I think I might come out to play. But that was super young, right? And the beer, once it had a chance to come together, home run. They killed it on that beer. A peach vanilla double IPA.
That doesn't sound good to me. Doesn't sound good to me, but.
Well, I'm taking Jeffrey.
I believe you, man. I'm just saying. I believe you.
I want that in my life now.
See?
Anything like Sorry Not Sorry, I would totally go for that. Because I actually really enjoyed Sorry Not Sorry, because it had that IPA going.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's the vanilla that to me is like that doesn't seem compatible with a hoppy beer. But
so here's the thing: the vanilla isn't there to win the best actor or best actress award. The vanilla's there to not even win the supporting character award. It's there just to be nominated for it. It ain't there to win. It's just there to be nominated for best supporting actor or actress. That's what it does. It's there to round out the flavors. It's not there. It's not meant to be predominant. And they put me on game to that because I was like, they had another beer. Matter of fact, that same one I'll tell you about, the Deceiver with the cinnamon and the peppers, and they have vanilla in it, and we're drinking it. And he was like, what do you think? And I was like, honestly, you can take the vanilla out of it because I don't get the vanilla. And he was like, well, bear in mind that the vanilla is not meant to be a star. It's meant to round out flavors. And when he said that, and I took another sip with that in mind, maybe I was jaded, maybe I wasn't, I don't know, but I could see exactly what he was talking about, where the vanilla. Vanilla is almost never going to be a prominent flavor because, to be honest with you, I don't think that we know what vanilla actually tastes like. I think that our society, I think America has been vanilla extracted to death. We don't know what real vanilla tastes like. We think it's going to taste like that stuff that comes in a little bottle, but that ain't what it tastes like. That ain't what it is, okay? Vanilla is meant to be...
You like lyrical tonight, brother. Lyrical.
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah. So I mean, in order for vanilla to be a standout flavor in your beer, let's say you make like a vanilla stout, you gotta put a metric shit ton of vanilla bean in there, and then you run the risk of it being like a little offish, right? Because I mean, too much vanilla can be a little off-putting. And you kind of lose the beer for the vanilla, so you gotta. I mean, it's meant to, vanilla is the Barry White music playing in the background, right?
Avery did a good job with vanilla in their stout. The Avery vanilla stout is really well done.
It's the Barry White in the background.
I think fundamental logic for Bottle Logic is the same way. The vanilla really calms it down and gives it that subtle kind of, I don't know, baseline flavor. Like you're talking about.
You're there to smash. The main event is smashing, but the vanilla's the music in the background, right?
Like yeah.
The star of the show is you smashing, but the vanilla is the Barry White in the background. I'm playing.
So actually, if I could be a little off topic,
Go ahead.
What are you doing, Ricky? What you got there?
So this has been in the fridge for probably 3 months. It has Bretta Rose from.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I have a bottle of that.
I pay $15 for a bottle of beer. It's got to be a special occasion to open it, right? Like I can just open a 12-ounce bottle of a $15 beer and just call it a Tuesday.
So you choose to open it up with us?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's special.
Don't tell Cheryl, but this is way more special than the last couple of weeks have been. So.
Is Cheryl home, man? Please tell me she's
No,
home.
she's actually not. She went to, I don't know if you know who Neil Gaiman is, but
No.
he has a documentary that was released. I don't know who he is. She's like super connected to him. His wife is a part of a band that I like, so that's why I know him, but she's at the debut of that, and he's there, and she's geeking out tonight. So
Okay. So you ain't gonna save her none of the Bretta Rose. That's jacked up.
Oh my God, that's so red. No, she doesn't. She doesn't need anything.
That's what she said.
That's not. I figured somebody would say that, but that looks like freaking Kool-Aid. Look at that. That is like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soda
That doesn't look like beer at all for sure.
No.
Oh yeah. I keep waiting for the Kool-Aid Man to bust through your wall,
Yeah.
wreck your tiger painting. Oh yeah.
That's a limited edition. He better not. He better come to that wall over there. Ain't shit hanging on the wall. It smells like soda. Like it's got.
Totally still. There's no carbonation at all for Brett beer, huh?
No, nothing.
Weird.
It's low ABV too. It's only 5.3, and it says on the back that it went through a secondary fermentation, which that's where the raspberries were added in the secondary fermentation, and it says wild fermentation. And I'm curious what makes a fermentation wild versus
We
Well-
probably did open fermentation.
yeah.
Probably spiked it with some Brett and did a little bit of open fermentation.
But everything I've had from Barrel Works, like this line from them, has been just solid. Like they're overpriced, I think, because they're so limited. But like they're just really good time and time again. And I look at Firestone Walker, like everybody looks at Firestone Walker, Parabola, and like these limited release beers they do are like the best beers in the world. And I think that Firestone does a really, really good job with their base beers, their IPAs, and their stouts or what have you. But then these like little side projects they do, I think like Barrel Works, like people aren't who's gonna pay $15 for a 12-ounce bottle of beer?
You.
Not many people.
You.
Me, yeah,
Not
and
that
maybe
many.
some. That's cheap, apparently, where James comes from. So that's like a pint of beer. But
would say- It's for Brown Works. That's pretty normal.
yeah, but like and they just got to Arizona. Almanac they make some ridiculously good beers. Like they are just silly good. They're $10.99 to $14, $15, $16.99 for a 12-ounce bottle. 12.7 ounces, sorry. But like that takes a commitment to think. I've never heard of this. I have no idea what it's going to be. I smell it, and I'm glad that I paid that because I know it's going to be awesome. But I'm not buying like a 12% barrel-aged stout that's been aged for 3 years. Like the price point, I think that personally I need to get over the fact that the price point is not necessarily related to what the beer is going to taste like. It's the rarity of the beer and the quality that went into the production of the beer and the line of the beer. Now, this could be just like any other beer that they brew, whatever, and they'll just throw a fancy label on it and say that it is what it is. The marketing concept, like Stone's Enjoy By. I'm going to buy it time and time again, but it's by doing that as a consumer, when I pay that for a beer like this, it's going to be a special occasion, and I call it Friday Night Hangout a special occasion because I look forward to this all week, and it's like Friday night's like.
It's beautiful.
I mean, you have to cry about it. And then he laughs like.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing at Jeffrey.
It's like
I'm amongst friends, and I'm gonna drink a good beer amongst friends. So you can cry and laugh all you want, but
Game now.
I'll
Hey,
drink to
that's
that.
something exclusive.
Oh my god, that is silly good.
what's the ABV on that? I like I said, I have one, but I don't know nothing about it.
5.3. That is carbonated perfectly. The Brett is just around the edges. If you handed me this and said, "Drink that," I'm gonna think, "Oh, cool, soda." It's got a soda carbonation to it. It's got a fruit, like the raspberry is really present, like even in the finish. But it's not like a forced raspberry. It's a very natural raspberry flavor. But the Brett is so subtly used that it's just, God, that is good.
But it is It does have carbonation, Ricky.
It does.
It just
Yeah,
looked almost totally still.
Yeah, it's got soda pop carbonation to it. But the cool thing is, like the bubbles I feel like bring out the flavor. Like the
Yeah,
Brett,
for
the
sure.
Brett's still there in the back of my palate. The Brett's still present, but it's not like a Brett IPA. Like it's not all Brett. Like it's just enough that I know that it's there. But like the finish, like for a 5.3%, I could spend an hour with this, like because the flavor's not going anywhere.
Well, you're a lightweight, but anyway, yeah.
Well, that's beside the point. Next time I see you, I'm gonna be mad at
He's
you.
gonna kick you right in the nuts next time you see you.
No, next time you see me, you're buying, man.
I told you that the last time
Yeah.
you were here, and you wouldn't let me. So shut up and let me buy you a beer. And then you go play golf on golf courses that my company manages and don't invite me. So whatever.
With friends like that.
Yeah.
Who needs
I buy your
enemies?
beer and then you don't let me play golf with you.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, are you on a second beer?
Yeah, I had to, man. That was just kind of like a starter. So I sort of have limited stock right now that's chilled. So this is
that's
Boulevard's
so good.
Imperial Stout, the Aztec chocolate version, 2015.
I've never had the one. I've had the coconut and I've had the one with tart cherries.
I had it. I think I had it last year when it first came out, and this one, I think my wife bought it for me for some reason, which is very strange in and of itself.
You
But,
might want to check that beer, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I noticed that that seemed like the cage had been already taken off and kind of twisted back on, you know. So, yeah. And she did ask me if I re-upped my life insurance, you know. So this thing, then, you know, the nose is you get a lot of cinnamon, not like powdered cinnamon, but like that cinnamon bark. Smells like there's a little bit of a little bit of chili heat probably in there somewhere, but not overpowering. And you do get some chocolate, but not super prominent. But yeah, it's nice. You get that kind of perfect mix of the big malty, roasty stout notes, with some rounding chocolate effect on it, and then that little bit of that cinnamon, and then you get a little bit of heat. It's not Mexican cake or bomb, but you get just a little ting in the back. The finish is a little bit weird. It's got this. I keep getting this almost like a Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper type of thing right in the finish, but the beer front to back is pretty good, except for that, which is just confusing me a little bit. It's not really not warm enough yet, so it needs a little bit of time to kind of fully get to proper temperature. But yeah, Boulevard can do no wrong. Those guys, especially the Smokestack series, is pretty reliable. So again, this is another good one.
They're a little underrated in my opinion.
You think they are? I mean, I think they're, I don't think they're underrated. I think they've kind of gotten bypassed, I mean, they've always been solid, and they're sort of first tier. They've been around for a while, and now all these old two-barrel system guys that people gush about for 15, 20 minutes, are kind of stealing their thunder.
Exactly. No, I think Boulevard's gotten to that point where they have like really some really good flagship beers, particularly Tank 7.
Yep.
To where now, like, I don't think anybody really appreciates Tank 7 as much as they should. Like, that's probably one of my least favorite styles of beer. But if I'm gonna drink that style, I want Tank 7, right?
Yeah.
Or Trillium Sunshower, but whatever. Yeah, so I think they're falling into that category of they make great beer, but they're always available, so I get it next time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and I do think they've they haven't seen any change in their quality from their ownership investment. I mean, they still make good beers. I wish they would come out with more stuff. I mean, they don't seem to innovate. They're not releasing that many kind of like new beers. Like a lot of other breweries.
They came out with the Calling, and then they came out with that Telltale Ale. And then they didn't do anything.
But it's like 2 or 3 a year. They're not doing. Yeah. They're not coming out with as many variants as a lot of the other big guys are.
True.
But I basically will buy anything that has this Smokestack Series label. I'll buy that on site without even kind of looking at the style. I mean, I know it's.
I agree. I agree with you. Like that Rye on Rye.
Yeah,
that's so good.
I bought a crowler of it, not a crowler, like a grunt of it. For Thursday, took it to my boy's house, passed out, never drank it. Went 2 hours away to my folks' house, and then he sends me a message. He's like, "Yo, you left your grunt." I was like, "Man, just go ahead and drink it." And then he proceeds to tell me how good it is. I'm like, "Yo." You don't have to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yo, you don't have to keep telling me. He's like, oh man, I get like these notes. I'm like, bruh, stop. Anyway, James, are you on the second beer?
Yes, I am. Just a normal Speedway.
Oh yeah, normal Speedway.
Just a basic regular Speedway style,
I gotta pick up my what was it? I think it's just the quote normal bourbon barrel aged variant that I bought.
Normal bourbon barrel aged, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's not the Vietnamese coffee or the Hammerhead or.
The Mexican is coming to my birthday party in a few weeks.
Yeah, that was very. I didn't buy that one just because I had it and not my thing.
Okay. Why do you say that? Because I have no idea what to expect.
For me, because it has the a little bit of a spice to it, like a Mexican spice to it, and I am I'm a loser when it comes to anything considered spice or Mexican.
But you don't do Crime and Punishment?
Oh,
no, I do not.
Punishment was stupid hot.
So let me say this. I will say that the Mexican Speedway Stout doesn't even come close to Crime or Punishment.
Okay.
I've got a couple friends who love the original Crime or Punishment.
That's the ones that I've had, yeah.
The couple iterations, the second iteration of Crime or Punishment was way off the charts, horrible to them. The latest couple ones were not as bad, but yeah. Anyways, the Mexican, I'm not gonna lie, the Mexican Speedway Stout doesn't even come close to that. It was more of the just a little bit of a chili flavor that I'm sensitive to, just because I'm such a weakling when it comes to spicy stuff. Like I'm legitimately a really bad person. Like I can't do Tabasco, I can't do Cholula.
Wow.
I can't do any of that shit.
I put sriracha on pretty much everything. So.
Yeah, I can't do that. Like I smelled Crime and Punishment, and I pretty much cursed out my hands. I was
Crime was hot, but it was a enjoyable heat. Punishment was stupid, but I polished off the bottle, but like it wasn't an enjoyable experience. But like I'm glad that I did it, but I'd never do it again. Like heat beers I'll do again, but like those two in particular, they were so different. Like you could tell that like the attention that went into it. Like what I regret doing is not pairing either one of those with food, because with food I think that it could have been a different experience. But
I had the Punishment pretzels at Stone, and I wanted to kill myself. I literally had one bite, and so at the brewery they tell you, that you can order the punishment pretzels and get a glass of milk for $1 with the order. If you order it after the fact, they will charge $2.
Okay, smart.
And my friend was like, "Just do it." And I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll do it." And the waitress came and she started kind of making fun of me and saying, "Oh, I see tears in your eyes." I was dying.
So you ended up paying $3 because you bought the provisional and then you had to go back and get another.
No, I was the idiot that had pride and I didn't order the milk ever. I just sat there and suffered for that literally one bite. But yeah, anyway, if you say that you put sriracha on everything, I think the Mexican, you probably won't even, it won't faze you at all. You'd be like, what's the big deal? James is an idiot.
So that's one of the beers that is coming to my 33 beers for 33 years party in a few weeks, and it's like buried halfway down the list. So by the time we get to that, we're already, so 33 beers has turned into 39, and there are 2 more beers that need to be added to the list. So it's going to be 41 beers for 33 years. There's like 15 people coming, so it's not like it's just me drinking 41 beers, but that's I'm excited about it because like the base Speedway is a 2-hour beer. Like cold, it's great. That gets better. Like it's such a good beer.
Yeah.
The Vietnamese, like you mentioned the Vietnamese, like I enjoy the Vietnamese a lot, but like the base is still, out of all of the variants that I've had, the base is the best. Like it's just
as far as base stouts go, Speedway stout is the best in the game, in my opinion.
I haven't had the barrel aged, but I think I will agree with you. The base for me is probably my favorite out of all of the different variants.
I've had the base, I've had barrel aged, I've had hammerhead, and I've had Vietnamese.
Ricky, I don't want to blow your ego up too much, but I just want to tell you that the first time I ever had Speedway Stout was in our first trade, and you put that in there, and I can remember I drank something else, and I was drinking that out on the front porch of my house at like 1 in the morning, and I basically time traveled. I got like halfway through that thing, and I woke up and it was like light outside. It was like 5:30 and the sun's coming up. I'm like, what happened? That's awesome. A good beer.
But no, the cool thing about that though is that beer used to be $10.99.
Yeah.
When I first moved to Arizona, it was $11. Now it's $13.99 or $12.99, and I'm like, that is ridiculous.
Wow.
12% stout that is literally a 2-hour beer that I can just sit down and enjoy until the sun comes up. Like, it's silly that good of a beer could be that affordable, and
I think AleSmith must have just gotten distribution in Texas because that's never been on tap here. But 3 different places this week they had Speedway and their brown ale on. So I hope that's true.
Yeah, 2015 was what I got a friend who lives in Austin, and we talked about it. And 2015 was when they started. I think it was the tail end of 2015 is when they started.
Okay, so the end is like the beginning of this year or something. Okay, I just never seen it before. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I know they had bottles, so maybe kegs might have taken a little longer.
Randy's about ready to choke himself with his headphones there.
I'm all right.
You all right, man? All right.
I'm good.
Nothing to
see here.
Did you move to a second yet, Randy?
Huh?
Did you move to a second beer yet?
No, I'm drinking 32 ounces of this beer.
Wow. Okay. All right. Never mind.
I'm saving it for the after party.
So that's not a 16-ounce crowler, also known as a pint. That's a.
It ain't no pint, Bards.
I will have to say, Ricky, on one hand, I'm with you on the whole 16 because you can try different things more, but the Californian douchebag pride in me is kind of like 16? Like, what? 32 maybe, but 16? Like, what? Yeah, we don't have 16 here.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this. So, there you have it, folks. We've managed to spend 58 57, 58 minutes talking about beer and a little bit of nothing.
And nobody's mom came downstairs to the basement.
Right,
You know?
nobody-
Yeah, I was talking pretty loud too.
Yeah.
Nobody's mom came
It's a
down.
piece of bagels.
Mom, the meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
So yeah, be sure to join us next Friday. We're gonna do it all over again. If you're watching, our one viewer at the moment, let us know, man. You want to get in on the show, or actually, no, seriously, if you want to get in on the after party, shoot us a message on the event, and we'll shoot you a link, and you can come in and join us on the after party and take the fun to another level. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next Friday.
Cheers. Peace out, kids.
Holla.